what we're doing here at Food4All, talk, just a little bit about the history of the company, consumer trends, and then how we're the service that we've launched in order to help farmers markets reach customers online. Okay, so super, here we are. Yeah, so Food4All has been around since we launched the company in 2017, working with producers in Central Oregon. Oh, was there a question? Okay, so we launched the service in 2017, working with producers in Central Oregon, just recognizing the need that producers have the need to sell through multiple sales channels. So, producers are selling direct to consumers. They may be selling CSAs. They may be selling at a farmer's market. They're also selling direct to other wholesale buyers, whether that could be a local school, chefs, hospitals in their area. Some of their transactions are, can be online, but they also have an in-person component to it, to the relationships that they're building and the transactions that they have. So we've architected a solution that enables producers to sell direct to consumers online through their own online shopping pages. They can also connect into farmers markets and be a part of a farm store within an online farmers market. And then we also have a wholesale component where producers are able to create their own online wholesale specific stores that are gated, so that you need to be a specific type of buyer in order to get into that transaction or into that store. And then we also have an integrated point of sale system for those orders that do happen in person. And all of that, the products, the prices, and the inventory for all of those channels is managed out of a single account and a single inventory bucket. So one of the problems that we're trying to solve is, producers who are selling through all of these channels, they're selling online and in person, but they only have X amount of crop, right? And so one of the fears we know with online channels is that producers don't want to oversell. So we've created this capability for producers to manage their, all of their inventory across all of their channels in one account. What I thought would be relevant today is to talk a little bit about what we're doing for farmers markets. So we recognized, as well as a lot of other companies, that during COVID there was a need to enable farmers markets to collectively sell all of their producers' goods online. And so, we saw a high adoption rate of consumers buying from farmers through farmers markets during COVID. And what we're seeing that I think is interesting is that there is a certain percentage of consumers who are continuing to buy from farmers markets online. They love the convenience of it. And for those markets that are offering either delivery or curbside pickup, they love, being able to place that order online and then just swing by and pick up their products. When we think about consumer trends, like what are consumers doing in general online, we just see, more and more consumers. I think it's like 78% of consumers now have made a grocery purchase online. And then the other thing that I think is interesting and this started even before COVID, but almost an equal percentage, it's like 75% of people have intentions of making investments in their local community by buying local products. So we're seeing this, kind of convergence of trends coming together where consumers are going online and they want to buy products locally. And for the markets that are offering online markets, at least with our service, we're seeing a continual increase in their business. And we see customers coming back week over week and to do their grocery shopping through their online marketplace. So we're offering a service that is, it's a subscription-free service for farmers markets. Vendors don't pay any fees. The fees that are paid are on the consumer side. So the consumer is paying what we call a community supported software fee. So we're just adding a small fee to the order that's paid by the consumer, and that funds the market's use of the technology and the vendor's use of the technology. And so right now we have consumer facing markets. And Anne, you might be interested. So we are creating wholesale markets as well. So, for example, if you have producers who are selling at the farmers market, but they want to participate in an online wholesale market, we can enable that technology as well. So one of the things that our solution that you'll see is different from what others are doing is we're really putting the producer first rather than putting the product first. Like often you'll see a lot of solutions that just dump product into a big shopping space, and you'll see produce 3 different sets of eggs, and it's really hard to differentiate between the eggs based upon, and consumers are really tempted to buy based upon price rather than based upon a relationship and understanding the story of the producer. So what I have here in front of me is yes, it's just a sample marketplace where it's called the Marshfield Marketplace. It's located in Bend, Oregon, and they have producers in a multitude of buckets. So plants, produce, plants and flowers, seafood, meat and poultry, farm, ranch, eggs, dairy and honey, etc. And then as a buyer, I can go in and search for the producers who have a certain product that I need. So if I'm interested in eggs, here I can see that High Desert Gardens and Tyson's Farm are offering eggs. And so is Smith Rock Farm, and so is the coffee company, as well as the garden out in Redmond. And so when I go into the High Desert Garden store, I can read all about High Desert Gardens. I can see the eggs that they have to offer. And then if I'm interested, I can view all of their products. So initially I was just looking at the products associated with eggs. And now as a shopper, I really like what I like their story. And so I can, look at their other products and add these other products to my shopping cart. So that's, that is the buying experience for the consumer is, or any type of buyer, is that they can search for different products. They can, go directly to a specific producer or just go to a specific producer type. But what we're presenting is the producer first, and then the ability to view their products. But we're doing that with a universal shopping cart, so that if I do purchase from multiple producers, then I have one single shopping cart, and I'm able to pay for my order through all of those for all of those producers. Oops, sorry. I somehow managed to pause my share. Sorry about that. User error there. So I can purchase from multiple producers in one single order. So here I'm going to pick it up at the farmers market this coming Saturday. And then as a market, you have the option of presenting a lot of different types of payments. You can only, it's your choice whether you want to say, I only want to accept payment with credit card, or I can enable these other types of payments. And we have enabled SNAP and EBT on site as a payment. And so what we're doing is enabling producers to identify products as SNAP eligible, and then creating the intelligence in the shopping cart so that when someone does say, I want to pay by SNAP or EBT on site, to be able to circle through the products and make sure that all of those products are eligible for SNAP or EBT payments. So once the buyer selects pay, we're just going to say pay with credit card, they do go through a registration process. And as the marketplace and any producer who participated in that order, you have the ability to, you own that customer's data. So you've got access to their email address, and you can do, marketing to that individual. But when the order is processed, what we do is we split this order and we deposit into High Desert Gardens their part of the order, and we deposit into Cascade Farms their part of the order. And then if you're a marketplace, you have the ability to take a percentage of the transaction. So say, because you are putting in place curbside pickup, you want to take 5% of the of each one of these transactions in order to fund that service that you're offering. So you could do that, and then the system takes that 5% out of the order and deposits that into your account. So as you can see here, the subtotal of this order is $109. This person's buying a lot of mixed greens. And then the community supported software fee is $3.69. And then the credit, we're adding the credit card fee in, and there's a long story behind why we're doing that, but it has to do with refunds and being able to prorate the portion of a refund that's going back to each vendor. So I can just enter in my CVC code and then select Pay Now. And when I select as a consumer this Pay Now, I receive an email receipt, and then all of the producers who were a part of that order are receiving order notifications, and that shows up in their individual account, and then it also shows up within the farmers market manager account. And then the farmers market manager has the ability to manage that order. So let's just say that they packed the bag and they forgot, somehow the arugula didn't make it into the bag that the customer picked up. Then either the seller can refund that buyer that amount, or the marketplace manager can process that refund. So that's kind of the big picture, and I probably have already gone over my time. I'd be happy to show you the back end if you feel like that's appropriate, but if there's any, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, this is Rita. I clicked on the buy local food and put in my zip code, and it showed me a market in California.
Oh, okay. Are you in Food4All?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So interesting. Yeah. So a majority of how producers and how marketplaces are using our technology today is that they're attaching these shopping pages to their website, and they're attaching their shopping pages to social media, and they're sending it out through e-newsletter. We're actually relaunching our website at the end of April, where we will just be displaying the right and the states where we have, not only markets, but producers as well. So, producers can use this technology without being a part of a market, but we do have producers who are participating in multiple markets. So they're managing their orders and their inventory across all of these markets, as well as their online shopping page. Let me know if anyone wants to see the back end. We've created a really simple way for markets to invite producers into their marketplace, and then manage each one of those markets or each one of those producers. Would it be helpful just to spend a couple of minutes in that, looking at that? Okay, I see heads nodding, so I'll go ahead and show you what we got going on. Okay, so I'm in a market manager account, and within this, I'm just gonna go ahead and hide that. So within the account, the market manager can manage all of the sellers that are participating in the marketplace, and they can easily turn on and off that seller's participation in the marketplace, and they can identify different terms for that seller in the marketplace. So, what we see is that, some markets have what we'll call anchor tenants. So those are the bigger farms who've come, year over year at the farm, and they may decide to provide a discounted rate for participating in the online farmers market. And so that's where you see the terms here. So you can decide what percentage, you can set a default percentage and then customize those percentages based upon your relationship. One of the things that we are seeing with markets and with online markets is that farmers markets are able to increase their virtual footprint. There might be limited market space, physical market space, but for online markets, you can have as many producers as you care to manage within that virtual marketplace. And what that does for customers is that increases the variety and their opportunities for really filling up their shopping cart. And then what that does for new vendors who are trying to, get a foothold in the community to launch their products is that, it almost acts as an incubation and a business development opportunity for those smaller artisans and smaller farms. So you can, with this dashboard, you can see the volume of orders that have come through within whatever gate period you decide. You can see if they've accepted your invitation into the marketplace and if they have their bank account connected. So their bank account needs to be connected in order for payouts to be deposited into their bank account. And then there is the ability to see if they have products available or not. And then you also have access to manage their products. We've heard from multiple markets that some vendors might not have online access. And so how can they participate? Well, we've made it easy for them to participate because a market manager can add and edit the products that are displayed for that marketplace. The market manager has access to all of the order information, so they can look at an order list. They can initiate refunds, partial refunds, or full refunds. They can see the details of the order. There's a full order report. There's customer order sheets, so that you can print out order sheets if you are offering pickup or delivery. So you can see all of the items that are included in an order. And then we've got a vendor payout report. So say that you are taking SNAP and EBT on site. You want to be able to quickly see what vendors you need to pay out with those SNAP and EBT, or maybe pay by check or cash payments. So this report provides you with that information. And then there's accounting and finance reports as well. And you've got full access to your customer list, and then you can easily manage your locations. So say you've got, you're offering a Saturday market and you're also offering a Wednesday market and you're offering delivery. So we give you the tools that you need to set up those locations, identify any order cutoff dates, and then any days of the week or the year that you're closed. So that's that's kind of the quick tour around. I'm happy to answer any other questions, but I also want to respect everyone's time.
Could you perhaps put your email in the chat in case anyone does have more questions or maybe their market wants to meet with you?
Yeah, you bet. Be happy to do that.
Thank you.